Okay, good. So, how was your day? How did you
If
to prepare?
um, I try to set up the relaxed vibe and just was had a longer walk with my dog. Did a little bit of work, so yeah, just to set up the mood. And what about you?
Really
How are you?
good. Good. Then you gave me a fun fact about yourself.
Yes.
Is that also something that you used to calm down? Tell me more.
So I really, yeah, it's kind of the way to uh, a little bit reflect. A fun fact about me is basically that sometimes I take a broom and clean up streets around my house. It's kind of sometimes a little bit about reflection, also little contribution to community. Yeah, just to make space around us a little bit better, not forget that we are responsible for space outside of our own homes, right? I live in Amsterdam, so it's not perfectly clean city. Sometimes it's needed to a little bit put effort into public space, but I really enjoy doing this. It's a little bit reminder that the world is outside of glorified tech community is a little bit different.
Are you also a fan of refactoring code?
Oh, really?
Are you? That's a
No.
question.
Well, sometimes yes, sometimes,
Yeah.
but not at all because I'm refactoring documents actually, right? I'm a product manager, and my role is not about code, but I do respect when my team wants to spend some time on refactoring, but because I see a lot of value in this.
Hi, how does refactoring documents work?
You need to ask yourself, yeah, basically how you can make it better, and is it clear for the audience it was written, right? And sometimes you can incorporate new details, right, what could be helpful for them.
Okay, so if I want to start with vibe coding and I want to start with a product requirements page, how would I start?
My best recommendation is to first understand the problem you want to solve. I do this with either Claude or with ChatGPT from the market research or from the research of the problem. It's not necessarily like market research. You can just a little bit understand problem better. If you have any gaps, to use Claude and any of those tools as a thinking partner to set up the context. And then based on the context, based on that context, what I prefer to do to make a sequence of very well refined sequential prompts for future usage in tools like Lovable, Replit, and so on. It's really important to be very concise, not to try to solve everything at once. If you want to get good result, yeah, the best way is just to refine it gradually. If you want to get a quick result, you can ask, please make me I don't know, podcast page or whatever, and it will will make quite good. It will create for you a page which could be a good starting point. But then you could spend way more time that you want to on refining sections, content, and so on and so forth. It's better to like really properly think about the problem statement, what you want to do, and yeah, make a plan.
So, is there like any project that you're currently working on that you would want to share?
Yeah, I do a few projects. First of all, I started vibe coding meetups in Amsterdam, and to do that, I created my own web page with Lovable, and I started learning by doing. Right, I had I call it a summer of vibe coding. At some point during summer, I decided, okay, it's so much stuff of going on in all of X and so on. People are talking about vibe coding. What is this? I need to understand it a little bit better, and decided, okay, let's make it practical. And I started first from my own page. I created craftingproduct.io page, and where this is a safe space for me where I can experiment, build internal CMS system, create different content. And then I get to the point when I realize that internet creates a lot of bias, right? It feels like everything goes in one direction, but we all know that reality could be different. And I decided, okay, let me try to set up a vibe coding community in Amsterdam. And I managed to attract quite some people. This week it was a fourth meetup where we had conversations with product folks. A lot of designers are coming. Also, even some developers are joining us just to laugh a little bit at what we are little kids trying to build with vibe coding. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you can get a sense that that those tools are like going to be used more and more in product development cycle. And for me, before starting implementing, for example, vibe coding or integrating, let's say, vibe coding into product development processes, I decided, figure out how community feel about this, what is happening in different companies, how people are integrating those tools into like product routine. And that how it came up to my second project. Was vibe coding sort of thing. I'm integrating prototyping with Lovable and Replit into early stages of design process, something in between designing and handing over to developers, sort of kind of specification, what we want to envisioning, because I think the product management role and design role will become more full stack kind of thing, because you need to do with AI tools, you're enabled to do way more and like beyond like specific area you're working on. And I think I'm super excited about that.
So when I think about like a product manager role, so you work with designers, you also like define, I think, the user flow, you also work with the front-end developers. Like how many people are involved in such a product creation, and how many people do you have to talk to?
In my case, I have a small team around 20 people. We have a few designers, a few developers, and a few product managers. I'm as a product lead. We are responsible, of course, for overall product vision and strategy, and for efficiency of the processes as well. I've been doing processes optimization over, I don't know, a decade. And of course, for me, it's also, I'm trying to always think when we're creating something new, how back office people will work, how they're going to support those like products we are creating. So it's a rather small team in my case.
Okay, so if I'm a product manager at a company, I also want to use tools like Lovable. Like, how do you basically convince others that Lovable is the tool to go and that you need budget for it?
Well, at this stage, I decided to go with I just expanded on my own. I treat it as a learning experience in the first place.
Okay.
It's super important for me and my team to encourage them to start using those tools. I see a huge potential in this. And what I did was some of my direct reports, I encourage them to incorporate those tools in early stages. And we have regular sessions where we're discussing how we can prototype with those tools like Figma Make as well, right? Because we, of course, as a product team, we use Figma a lot. And for us, sort of low-hanging fruit was start using a Figma Make. It's part of our stack already. We don't need to have a budget allocation for this or something. But also for brainstorming, I often use Lovable or Replit when I need to, like on early stage, when I want to understand, okay, what direction I want to go from also back office perspective. I know, for example, how front end will look like, and what I don't want to spend way too much time designing back office interface at this stage, and we will refine it later. But it gives me sort of sense of where I want to go with that.
So it's like a brainstorming support. And Figma Make, how exactly do you work with that? Is it good? First question.
Well, I would say it's rough around edges. I'm not really excited. We did the exploration yesterday and tried to use it. I'm not satisfied so far with the outcome, but I see potential. It's like with all products. For example, I use Figma. What does it make now?
Figma Jam?
Yeah, Figma Jam, correct. Yes. I use Figma Jam not just because of it's a best in class product. You can look at Miro, right? It's way, way better and much more sophisticated. But I use Figma Jam because I'm kind of curious how their Figma's product team will evolve it. And it has all the basics, right? But they keep evolving. It's the same, feels like with Figma Make. It's a little bit not mature enough to really use it as a part of design flow, but it's kind of with all of those tools at this stage. The sooner you'll start using them, the better you'll be with those tools in the future. It will be easier to adopt for you, for your team. That's why I'm kind of advocating for early adoption of all tools in Stack.
Okay, so your basically advice is to start using tools that have high potential on becoming amazing right now so that you will be the first one to know how to use them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best way to go. Learning by doing. I learned it over the decade of my experience doing things. And sooner you start, the better you'll be in the future. And of course, you need to make some bets. But I don't think that those tools will be way different one from the other. Like look at the Asana or Jira. It's at the end of the day, it's kind of the same thing, but yeah, slightly different with slightly better integrations, different interface, but all in all, interaction pattern will remain the same.
Do you think that in the future there might be no like classical Figma required anymore, but you will just directly have code, front end code?
This is a good question. I think it could be the way to go, actually. Also, not just because we won't need prototypes, mockups anymore. I believe that interface can change and you will pay less attention to interface itself and you will focus more on value, right? I guess we will interact more with voice assistants, with command, with different other interfaces, right? Might not be our UI as it used to be, like terminal alike UI. We'll see. It's of course remains to be seen, but the interfaces are changing. So maybe with AI, it's also interfaces will be more fluid, flexible, and will adjust to the way how you use it.
This changing UI and a changing tool landscape and everything, do you think that like the requirements for product managers are evolving constantly too?
It always was like this. Continuously need to be eager to learn and stay like relentlessly curious because so much stuff is going on, and you have to keep up with the pace. Yeah, that's of course what I said a bit earlier. I believe product managers will become a little bit more full stack, a little bit of design, a little bit more engineering, but still the core of a product manager is to identify opportunities for business and problems to solve for clients where you can innovate and offer something unique.
What do you think about people saying that AI will replace developers, designers, everyone except for product managers?
Well, in my opinion, of course, some changes in roles eventually will happen. I don't believe that it will replace like everyone, like all developers, all designers. Apparently, we will come up with some new roles, but it will be slightly redefined with AI. We would need AI, I don't know, AI configurators, whatever, I don't know. Yeah, something like this. But I don't see huge drop in demand of product managers right now. It's getting more with designers. It feels also more or less the same, but of course it shifts a little bit, and you expect sort of different set of skills from those people. With developers, I feel it's going to be the same. I do not believe that AI will completely diminish developer role, slightly shift, change, but it enables us more possibilities, and I prefer to look into this from this perspective, how our roles will evolve. The same you can say about customer service, for example. Everyone is afraid that customer service agents won't be needed anymore, but we have so many problems to solve as a companies, as overall businesses, right? And I think it's just going to be a little bit of a shift. Happens the same thing have happened in the past when we got smartphones or internet. It's just, things are evolving and you have to be open to those changes and stay positive about them. That's my take.
And now if we think about like your team, how do they react when you present them maybe a Lovable mockup or something that Figmate just created? Like how do they react?
I would say like I have a very good relationship with my team. I have also a lot of advocacy, and they're like, "Oh my God, Dima brought something crazy yet again." They're very open to this and actually excited to explore new techniques, new ways of work. Yeah, I think everyone is excited. Of course, there is some skepticism around that because people, how are we gonna maintain this? No, but it was always like this. When you try to bring something new, you have few groups of people. Overall, I guess development world is excited about possible changes.
I feel like you somehow managed to make them excited about what you show them and they're like, this is the vision, guys. Is that how you present it? Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes, yes.
Okay.
It
Cool.
helps a lot, but also being open to and curious. Yeah, I always encourage my team members to be curious and try to explore new things. We all, as a people working in digital, we are always should be open to new possibilities and technologies.
How do you build such a team culture? Because it sounds like you have a very like explorative, innovative team culture that loves new things. Well, how do you get there?
It was quite a journey. For me, as a product leader, I joined this team roughly 4 years ago. Um, and I started to involve my team members into product discovery process, understand the problems a little bit better, what is going on, what is important for end users, what is important for stakeholders. And I tried to also brought my team in front of the company where we can present outcomes of our sprints, outcomes of our objectives, right? What we delivered, and encourage them to think more about the problems we are solving, people behind those solutions we are building, and also be curious and be able to present your work to the company. So at the beginning, I started doing this myself, but then I said, okay, it's a kind of wrong path. I need to involve people directly building things into those all hands meetings where they can present deliverables and outcomes. That really helped. And with that, it helped to evolve product culture, level of responsibility, and this kind of curiosity.
Do you think that like you also gained these skills a little bit through your customer experience?
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Yeah, can you maybe tell me more how it is to work like in such an environment?
It's challenging, but it's super cool. Sometimes I really I started my career as like one of the parts of my career was work as a sales representative in a store where I provided sort of services, consultations, sold phones and stuff like this, and it helped me uh, to get a better understanding of customer needs and enable this curiosity. And I kind of sometimes I really often miss this vibe of being with people and learning from them directly, right? And that helped me adopt this culture of discovery where you really need to engage with your customers and understand what they are looking for, what kind of problems they have. And that kind of going through and through my career, like just being on the edge of your product and understand how end users what end users are getting from that and how they're interacting with your product. That's actually that's interesting reflection.
But then in your current role as a product manager, is it like very data driven? Do you just get like a bunch of data how users use the product, or are you like also in these discovery calls or
Both, actually. For me, one of my goals when I joined the company was to build a robust analytics system. We implemented Amplitude as part of our analytics stack, and then it helps to understand the interaction within the product. And also, I'm joining calls with clients, customers. Also, I'm joining calls with our sales team, also to understand what they sell. Also, business review meetings. It's also interesting to see how they are going, what is happening, what is interesting for client, for stakeholders within client. Because I work in the B2B environment, and it's not just about understanding customers, right? It's also about understanding all of the parts of the business, including stakeholders and different clients. We work with a lot of different clients, and for me, it's kind of cool to be there. It gives understanding from the first perspective, right?
do you also test your ideas that like were maybe an output of Lovable or Figma or something like to clients?
It's a bit too early. We really
Yeah.
on the early stage of adoption, but right now we're building one of the new products, and I want to do this. I want to try it with users and with small user group just to test it out. Low fidelity, like it's not low fidelity, but prototype built in Lovable. Or I don't know yet what exactly we're going to use. We are experimenting with a few different tools right now. My goal is, as part of the building process, incorporate AI in the heart of this process, like from the early stage, prototyping, testing, validation, to be able to get insights as soon as possible. This is a goal of prototyping, to get something more tangible as soon as possible with lower cost before you will start building something more robust and scalable.
What is your criteria when you say like maybe Replit, maybe Lovable? Like what do you look for?
I look for robust platform which would help me, which will guide me through the building process. I use at this stage. I've been trying everything. Literally, I have subscription for Lovable, Replit, V0, Ball.new, because you need to experience, and each of those tools they have advantages, disadvantages. I like Lovable for the speed. You can build the first prototype. So the design system, they use the overall approach. It looks really robust and good. For example, Replit, I like Replit, for example, because they have this structured approach to building checklist that's really cool, and you can put tasks in a sequence and just see how it works, right? That's also but you can add tasks in the queue and then see how they will be implemented gradually. And also they helping you to validate whether you're what are you building, and they like creating this sort of a checklist. Okay, I'm gonna build XYZ for you. Are you okay with this, or you want to keep talking about that? Right. Yeah. Also with Lovable specifically, it's sort of European-based company, and I really want to I don't want to work with them in that sense to support European company, European culture. That's part of it as well.
Okay. So when I tested V0 and Lovable, then I was like, okay, Lovable, the tech stack, I don't like the code that they produce, just because
Uh-huh.
it's like a different tech stack that I would prefer. But I was very convinced with like the UI taste they have.
Yeah.
But with V0, I was like, I love the tech stack, but the UI just does not feel
Yeah.
somehow
Doesn't ring a bell.
lovable,
Yeah.
right? Um, so yeah, and Replit I actually never tried before, but if you say they have a to-do list, that sounds very cool. And
Yeah.
Figma, I tried it as well. I was
Uh-huh.
so disappointed because they promise you can like, I don't know, have code directly from your design. You can create your design with prompts. And then I saw it and it was like gray and white. I don't know if they now have like colorful
Yes.
designs, but back then it was gray and white. And I was like, that is so sad.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you maybe you need to a little bit dive deeper in how to connect your design
yeah.
system in the right way so it can extract all the data. But we're really in the early stage in the internal process. Started literally like 1.5 weeks ago, and I'm not satisfied with the outcome so far. Even though we attached all of the links to prototypes, so on and so forth, we didn't get to really close match to what we designed in Figma. Code wise, I guess I don't have that concern. I mean, I interact via chat interface and I want to rely on AI in this case. Of course, you cannot do it 100% and you have to be responsible and you have to understand how your code works. But as
Mhm.
long as I'm not putting anything into production from there, I can be chilled about it.
So basically your process for like developing the products, user flow, the requirements as well, it ends basically with when the development starts. So you just hand over like the prototype, but then you
Yes.
start from scratch and won't use anything that a low-code tool produced.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
It's kind of specification in a
Okay.
prototype way. This is how it's going to be. That what I feel.
Why?
We need to gain trust with those tools,
Okay.
of course. And yeah, this is more towards engineering, right? And the engineering leaders needs to decide how to integrate the existing code base, right? Maybe when you go and do new product, it will be easier, but we already have a massive existing code base and you cannot like
Okay.
plug in something out of the blue, right? This is where you need to really be thoughtful. With new products, it's probably going to be easier. It for sure will be easier at
Mm.
some point. And looking at the way how tools are evolving, I can confidently say like in a year or two, we will be much more ready to that.
Do you feel that the speed of low-code tools increase the requirements and also the expectations that you put on developers?
Yes, a little bit, but also it gives me more insights what I can achieve with different tech stacks, with different frameworks as well. Especially when you build more, I can articulate what I want to achieve as the end result way better, and that's why it's not increased my expectations. I would say it's helps me to align better with them.
Because I can imagine if I am like prompting something and it's like there, and I'm going to my developer and be like, this is what I need. I did that in 5 minutes. Can you too? I think that could might cause like some friction here and there. No?
Of course, I did it in 5 minutes. Can you do that? Yeah, but I don't have those expectations, of course, and I understand that we need to its development cycle will take a little bit longer, of course, than like creation in AI tools, right? Yeah, that's the reality, of course. But at the same time, I believe that it could be shortcut front-end wise for sure when components are very well refined, and I am as a product manager or someone from design team satisfied with this. Yeah, just go ahead, and they can really likely use. Also, Figma they have this development mode, which also kind of helped out to deliver code faster. But I mean, you have to be real. Yeah, it's not gonna happen within minutes.
Yeah, very true. And the developers, do they like prefer then the design that you have like in Figma? Is it like interactive as well, or do you just have like a static design in Figma?
We do part of our culture, of course, to create high fidelity mockups and prototypes. And this is important part of also handover to ensure that all parties understand what we are building. And design team is integrated also in some phases of development process where you have validation sessions. Yeah, that's how it works. As I said, with AI tools, we are not like integrated them on a full scale. We're experimenting, trying to figure out how to make it in the best possible way. We can integrate them smoothly and without creating way too much disturbance to existing processes. But at some point you have to create this disturbance, otherwise you won't adopt the innovation. And this is important important talking point for me. And I'm trying to remind my team, yeah, guys, we will get to the point when we will more and more integrate it between design, product, and also with all this AI stack we are exploring.
How long do you put a time frame for like adopting these AI tools?
Exploration phase going to happen within September and October. How I envision this, and I decided, okay, let's give it a couple of months to see how it goes. And the important thing I decided to integrate it on early stage for new product, so it's easier because we're gonna have new people involved. This way, it would be easier to onboard them with the process and validate whether it fits then for the rest of the product line we have.
If you would need to summarize like the most important advice from like our discussion that we had so far, like which one would it be? Can you just quickly give me like a sentence or two?
Stay optimistic and curious, I would say. This is the best advice.
Okay. Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. Just curiosity and optimism. Of course, you can try to stick to more conservative line, but looking at the pace how things are evolving, it doesn't make to deny that it's a huge technological shift, and you just need to be in the front line of this shift.
Thank you so much for being here today and for that amazing discussion.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was cool.
No problem.